He's my dentist. Daphne's just been named. Good morning. I would like to welcome everyone to the Education Professions Committee meeting. We would like to recognize Mr. Richard Harrington, who is our new board member and the newly assigned member of the Education Professions Committee. Welcome, Mr. Harrington. Mr. Harrington represents the 12th Judicial Circuit. We welcome those of you in attendance. Thank you for your interest in the work of the State Board of Education. Do we have any visitors or news media to recognize?
Good morning, everyone. For those of you I have not met, I'm Mary Hipp. I'm the Director of the Office of Educator Services. Thank you for being here. Look forward to working with you. I wanted to introduce our colleague, Nicholas Bellick, who was here from Educational Testing Service. Nick is our representative. We work with him on Praxis and a number of other initiatives. So he's been in town for the last 2 days. He appreciates the weather because he's going home to a high of how many degrees, Nick? 11 in Wyoming tomorrow. But we are working on several projects with him. He spoke to the dean's meeting yesterday. So Nick, if you want to greet these folks, I will get out of the way.
Thank you very much, board members, for the opportunity to greet you and I want to extend ETS's greetings as well. Our mission as a nonprofit is quality and equity in education for all students worldwide. And to that end, the use of our products in South Carolina hopefully do extend that. So I'm definitely here as a resource, a former teacher, if you couldn't tell by the tie, and a lover of literacy. So I extend all the resources that ETS is able to provide. I look forward to working with you as a thought partner and providing anything else that extends that mission of quality and equity in education. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy South Carolina weather just a little bit longer. Committee members, you have before you the minutes from our January the 17th committee meeting. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Next, I ask for approval of the agenda for today's committee meeting. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented? Hearing none, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. We do not have anyone signed up for public comment today. Now, moving on to committee items. For approval today, we have 3 items. Item 1 is a new educator preparation program approval recommendation, Lander University Bachelor of Science and Middle Level Education, grades 5 through 8. We have Jacqueline Walsh with us today from the Office of Educator Services to present.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. As she mentioned, Lander University has developed and submitted a Bachelor of Science program in middle level education with concentrations in language arts, social studies, science, and math. After the proposal was approved at the university level, the Commission on Higher Education and the Commission of Higher Education, the Department of Education disseminated this program to an external peer review team. This team evaluated the rigor and content of the program to prepare teachers and to ensure that all requirements established in statute, regulation, and guidelines were sufficiently addressed. Once the external peer review team approved the program, the Professional Review Committee, or PRC, completed an evaluation to determine that the final proposal adequately addressed all the requirements for teacher certification. The PRC considered the Lander University proposal on December 13th and voted to recommend the program for proposal by the State Board. If the program proposal is approved, the institution will be able to enroll candidates beginning with the fall 2023 term and recommend successful program completers for certification in the area of middle level education, grades 5 through 8. The SCDE recommends that the State Board approve the Lander Bachelor of Science program for the preparation and certification of candidates in the area of middle level education.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I was just curious what might be the prerequisites that a candidate might have to get in that program.
So this is for an undergraduate program. There are some state requirements at the undergraduate level. For example, Praxis Core or a program admission assessment and those sorts of things to get into a professional program. Now, some institutions have chosen to require more than the standard recommendation from the state, but that there are requirements for a professional teacher education program.
Early childhood education or brain development a part of that curriculum, or do you know?
For middle level, I don't believe there's a lot of that, but there is certainly, we do youth and growth development and things of that nature. So oftentimes that does include some things for those area. It is adequately addressed for grades 5 through 8.
And as a former middle school principal, yay, this is exciting.
We follow all the AMLE, which is the American Middle Level Education Standards. That's the SPA, or the Specialized Professional Association that's approved by the state board. So they must meet all of those requirements held in that SPA. And that's part of what our team recommended, or reviewed.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Board Member Kriminger made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Board Member Slaughter seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Walsh.
Thank you so much.
Item 2 is identification of critical need subject areas for 2023 through 24. We have Mary Hipp from the Office of Educator Services to present.
Good morning again, and with your permission, I would like to present information on EPO 2 and 03 at the same time.
Okay.
EPO 2 is the designation of the critical needs subject areas. EPO 3 is the designation of the critical need geographic areas or schools.
Okay, so you'll do both
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Will it require two separate motions?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
Okay, thank you.
I will defer to Holly as the expert on that, so. Annually, and pursuant to state code, the state board has to designate critical needs subject areas and geographic areas or schools for the purpose of cancellation of the South Carolina teacher loan. And so we're presenting to you the recommendations for these two categories, the subject areas and the schools. In identifying the critical needs subject areas, we use data collected by the Center for Educator Recruitment, Retention, and Advancement, or CERA, during their annual supply and demand survey of school districts. They administer that survey each fall and then provide the data to the department in late fall. We also utilize data from the department as well concerning teachers that may be employed in an alternative program or out of field. We utilize a formula from the United States Department of Education in making this determination. And again, it uses positions that are unfilled in that subject area, filled by educators that are going through an alternative route program to earn their complete certification, and then educators that may hold an out-of-field permit in those subject areas. So you'll see here the fields that we recommend approval for 23-24. The U.S. Department of Education, as long as the total vacancies don't exceed 5% of the overall teaching positions in a state, will count all of these areas. And so we recommend using this same list for the cancellation of the student loan program that can be used for federal loan forgiveness for teaching service. So you'll see you're pretty much covering all of the subject areas in South Carolina right now. Critical needs schools, we use a formula or criteria that are defined in state statute. So to qualify as a critical needs school, that institution has to meet one of the three identifiers in the law. A report card rating of below average or unsatisfactory, or a 3-year teacher turnover rate of 20% or higher, or a poverty index of 70% or higher. For this year, or for the 23-24 designations, 819 schools qualify as critical need geographic areas. There are a total of 1,365 schools in the state that we considered, but 819 are eligible. Last year, that number was 810. I'll be glad to answer any questions about those designations. On the spreadsheet we provided, you can see the criteria that a particular school was able to qualify using. So some schools, it's just one of those three, some maybe two, and we do have some schools that actually qualify in all three of those categories. Next month, oh, yes, sir.
Just one question. What kind of commitment, timeline do they have to make in order to get their debt forgiven?
So if you're doing the South Carolina Teacher Loan Program, candidates, as they graduate and go into employment, they can retire that debt in two ways. If they're in a critical needs subject area, they can retire at a certain rate. If they're in both a critical needs subject area and school at a higher rate, it is somewhere in that 3 to 5 year range that a candidate can retire that debt.
So they have to commit to 3 to 5 years?
As long as they can retire a year at a time for the South Carolina program, but they obviously have the option to move to a school, but they may lose eligibility to cancel that loan if they leave that school. So most of our teachers that utilize that teacher loan program, they very much stay in a school that meets one of these areas, or they're in a subject area that meets one of these criteria. We think it's an important piece of that recruitment and hopefully retention early years.
It's been done in other states, or, is it an effective way to address the shortage in those areas?
We do believe it's an effective way. This loan program has been in place for long before my tenure in the department, and I've been here a while now. We do see it as an important piece. There are some considerations right now to expand other loan programs in South Carolina to include teaching forgiveness. So, for instance, there are some additional options for Palmetto Fellows or some of the state loans for high-achieving high school students. There's some consideration of adding teaching as one of the options to get additional funding. We do some of that in science and math, but I think there's this recognition that teaching should be or could be considered as one of those areas. There are a number of states that do similar programs. If you want any more information on that, we'll be glad to provide you a list of states. We can do that. Next month, we're going to come back before you with the same two lists for the purpose of employing retired teachers beyond that earnings limitation that's in the retirement law. The protocol has been for the last several years to expand the list slightly. So next month, we'll present again the subject area list, the critical needs school list, additional schools and qualifying districts, and then all of our career and technology education centers will be eligible there. So we'll be back next month with that, but just wanted to give you a preview there. Right. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you for these presentations, Mrs. Hipp. Let's look at specifically item 2, the identification of critical needs subject areas. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Board Member Cremenger made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Board Member Cordray seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Item 3 is the identification of critical need geographic area schools for 23-24, which Mrs. Hipp also presented on. Is there a motion to approve item 3?
So moved.
Board Member Slaughter made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Board Member Cremenger seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you again, Mrs. Hipp. We will now ask for committee members to approve adding EP 1, 2, and 3 to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to place action items 1, 2, and 3 on the consent agenda?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Board Member Cordray made a motion to approve to the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Board Member Kreminger seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Is there any other business to come before the committee today? Hearing none, we will adjourn. Thank you very much.